And we're back with some more oxygen not included on Rime. Today, well, barring this giant expanding hydrogen cloud, which is getting more and more epic as we go along, we're going to be doing some rocketry. So I'm going to put together some rockets so we can get our hands on some more fulleren to get lots of super coolant, because I think I'm going to need it for the build I have planned. Oh, and let's make sure none of them get trapped in there. A simple way to do that, just make sure that any of them that do get trapped in there will immediately deconstruct all the ladders so that they can fall down. Yeah, that might be a smart plan. Whoa. Ooh, don't. I hate when it hangs sometimes. I still get that worry that it's going to suddenly mass delete everything on the screen. Anyway, we'll let them finish that. Soon we'll get the rockets up. I'm going to try something slightly different by putting the fuel tanks near the top and rotating all the fuel along the top, just for differences. This here is going to be our scout tube because it's the longest one. We've got plenty of space beneath it. And what is going on down there? You know what? Don't care. It's fine. We'll finish off this rocket silo here, and then I want to put in several rocket silos the entire length. If we check the star map here, we've got a not terrible roll on this. We've got fulleren on this planet, fulleren here, fulleren here, fulleren here, and fulleren here. So it's 5 close-by planets, all with fulleren. And further out, we have a gilded asteroid. That's 29% fulleren. Yeah, we're going to be sending one rocket out there as well. So we'll have 6 rockets that we're going to have doing that, and then another rocket that's going to be doing scouting. And am I currently analyzing anything? Yes, we're currently analyzing that. I should probably get a scout out to that gas giant as well. I'll scout the gas giants first, see if they've got anything with lots of fulleren. I'd just like to be able to make sure we have lots and lots of fulleren coming in. Anyway, let's skip this forward a bit as we get more rockets in place. And here is where the top rockets, top fuel tank section will go. So we've got 2 fuel tanks here for the fuel, 1 oxidizer down here, and we're going to rotate. I think I'm going to keep all the oxygen tanks about this level if I can arrange it, and then the oxygen is just going to rotate from down here, though I am going to have to open these doors again. The reason being I forgot to put in that little pipe there. That was a mistake. I'm going to have to do the same on the hydrogen side, but I'm not going to open the doors until that tank fills up, namely because I don't want all of that instantly flashing to hydrogen and then pushing out of here. That might be problematic. But once this is all set up, we can start rotating oxygen up and back. Though, oh, yeah, I should probably maybe set the fuel tank setting on this. What are we looking at? Liquid oxygen, 928, I believe it was. Wait, no, I had that on petroleum. Never mind, this is 561. Which means I have one too many sections on this. That needs to go. Also, that needs to go. Oops. We can deconstruct both of those. This is going to be a much smaller rocket. This one's going out to the 3rd ring. So I'm going to put the 3 hydrogen rockets out to there, 2 petroleum to there. Ooh, you know what? I might want to put 2 hydrogen. Oh, my scout ships are also going to be hydrogen. I don't want to waste all my hydrogen on 1 hydrogen rocket out to there, maybe 3 petroleum. You know what? Let me double think about this in the background. But for the time being, anyway, we're going to at least get 1 hydrogen rocket up and running and getting us fulleren. Next up, we'll have to run the liquid hydrogen lines. They're just going to come up through here, curve all the way back down, and back down to our storage tank. Though I still have not opened it up yet so we can put in that 1 pipe. I'm going to wait till everything else is built maybe before I do that. I'm just still terrified that I'm going to vent, a few tons of liquid hydrogen into space. I'm going to have to commit at some point, but not just yet. Oh, I might want to put some ladders across there just to make sure I can get rid of that. I'm going with the standard issue rocket silo design. We're going to give every rocket its own silo just because it looks really cool. I sort of like it that way. I found better ways of doing things, but this way it just it feels very solid and it's very unlikely anything can break down, which is sort of the way I like things. Now, how's this looking? Oh, destination assigned, no astron assigned, everything else is sorted. Oh, to get the pipes in there, I'm going to have to disconnect these or deconstruct these wall segments. You can't quite reach from the gantries. It's an annoyance, but I'm not going to be bothered to stop and put in rocket suits or the jet suits. Jet suits would help an awful lot with this, but I like my FPS the way it is, and being able to run a speed mod that allows me to go even faster than normal means, yeah, I'm quite happy to just squeeze as many frames per second as I possibly can out. Well, she's almost about ready to go. We just need to hook up the hydrogen. There's a bit of a pipe down there that's not doing so good. Let's hook that up there. That should hopefully get the hydrogen flowing. Is that? Yeah, that is the output pipe, yep. Across there, hops across, comes all the way back around. And then we need to get someone in here. So I am going to open the doors. Do not make me regret this. I want one of you to go in, just, drop off the materials and then instantly build it. Don't drop off the materials, bugger off and wait for someone else to come back and do it. We just want the doors open once. And don't even stand in the doorway. If you stand in the doorway, I'm going to... Thank you, Smash. Someone I can rely upon. Perfect. That was exactly what I was hoping for. Now, how is the circulation going? It's not. Oh, yes, it has not hit critical mass. It has to hit 50 kilos. Hydrogen will form a tile up to about 1,000 kilos. Oxygen only goes up to 500. Just, it's one of those little quirks of the game you have to pick up as you go along. Temperature-wise, yeah, that's calmed down a wee bit. That's good. And we're extracting the maximum amount of return power out of that. I think this worked out quite well. This design may be tiny and compact, but it does the job and gets you what you need. Well, that's that done. Next up is going to be the scout silo. Now, the scout silo is going to be special. The reason being, you want to make sure your scout silo can get all the way to the very furthest end planets, which is here. We don't really need to. I don't technically want to scout that planet, though. The reason being, I've already got fulleren on that planet. If I scout it, I might end up with abyssalite or something else diluting that, and I really just want lots of fulleren. And the gold to go with that fulleren would also be nice. The pyrite, I've never had, so that would also be nice to have. But yeah, I'm not going to scout that planet. The first planet we are going to be scouting is... Oh, is that a gas giant? Never mind. We're going to be scouting this gas giant, just in case it's got anything nice on it. Great thing about gas giants... You require gas cargo canisters, but if this was fulleren or any solid materials, that means we could get 100% fulleren out of it. Or, you know what? We'll find out. I'm not going to get my hopes up until after I've got this rocket built. The rocket silo needs to be 55 tiles high. That's the maximum size you will ever need for it. So, yeah, that's where it's going to end. This is where the bottom of the silo is going to be, which has introduced a minor problem. Transport is going to become a bit of a difficulty because my dupes are going to have to go all the way down here and up the other side. So I'm thinking I'm going to put in a little transport tube, a couple of transport tube stations right there. This seems like a decent place to do it. Though, yeah, we can run it from over this side. Grab this, just run it straight through there. I've already made a little bit of space. Go straight up like that. Now I need to have something here to transport that through. I think what we'll do here actually... Yeah, I got an idea. Transport tube crossing. If I put that there, it will block the gases. It stops gas flow. Then we can excavate out from the other side. We'll get rid of you. And we can just dig straight down. One more section would be good. And then after we dig down, we can excavate out the blocks on the other side and form a vacuum seal. We'll tube it up the other side. Oh, gonna need power for that. Good thing I have this third power wire over here I have not been using. We can just bring that straight across. Ooh, what are we using for this? Lead? Yes, perfect. I don't want to use anything too expensive. Reason being, you've got to be careful when you're at the top of the map using lead, because regolith, if it touches it, will melt it. That's just the way it is. Boom. This looks like it might actually work. I'll have to You know what? Cancel that. I'll have to slowly excavate my way back out, because... I can only build 2 tiles away, and I'm going to have to seal this up on either side with another tube crossing. That should take a minute. There we go. Couple of transport tube stations right there, nice and close by. Running off a single power wire, coming off a single transformer. That should be, yep, we're perfectly safe on that front. It's 960 watts apiece. That means we've got 80 watts to work with. Plenty of space, plenty of space. Now we can finish off this. I want to get my scout rocket going. Oh, how's our hydrogen looking? Still not quite up there, is it? We should be getting close, though. Oh, we're up to 1,000 kilos. So, how's the second one looking? Not quite yet. Another 50 kilos of pressure, so 5, 10, 15, 20. Another 250 kilos of hydrogen. We'll take that much longer. Time to build this rocket out, and... Yeah, time to build this scout rocket here and design it for that hydrogen giant. I'm going to preemptively scaffold everything to the bejesus because, yeah, you're just better off doing that when you're starting out on these things. Otherwise, you'll just find that you won't be able to build a module because of some silly reason. Since we're putting all our other stuff at the top, we can start with research modules near the bottom. Lots and lots of steel. Oh, and another thing to remember, cargo bays. If you're making cargo bays, make sure to make them out of what? Come on, who knows? Obsidian. Make sure you use obsidian to make them. If you accidentally make them out of sandstone, let's say, which happens to people because that'll be the default one selected, they'll have the melting point of sandstone, which is under 700 degrees, which means they'll sometimes accidentally melt when they come back. You know, when the rocket exhaust hits them. So using obsidian just gives you a higher melting point on your cargo base. So what's the melting point on these ones? Where are we looking at it? Yeah, 2,700 degrees. If that was sandstone, these things could accidentally just vanish sometimes. It's kind of frustrating. Anyway, time to just finish this off and get our scouting right on. Then there's just a little bit more pipe foo to get all the stuff flowing. Actually, we can deconstruct that. And that will get the hydrogen flowing through there, and that will get the oxygen flowing through there. And, ooh, you know, I need to maybe deconstruct a few tiles on the side to let these people in. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's just make it more than a few. Let's get rid of everything between there and there. That should allow me to quickly replace those piping. How's this looking? You are almost full. Perfect. Wow. I am so glad I put that there. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Bye, 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 bye. Oh, and last one. Poof. All right, that just makes transport so much simpler. Anyway, once they finish that piping, that will be 2 of our rockets in. Oh, and star map wise, I have found something interesting. But not this gas giant. It was... yes, I have found a second gilded asteroid containing lots of fullerene. I think if I just do 2 rockets, 1 to each of these, that should be more than enough fullerene to go around for a very, very long time. I mean, normally you only get about 2.5 kilos per rocket to something that's only got trace amounts of fullerene. Say, like, here has trace amounts of fullerene. They all have it. That's about 2.5 kilos tops. This will give me 350 kilos. That seems like a much better return rate. So yeah, this is what we're going to be going for next. Now comes this slightly more delicate bit of managing all these rockets. First thing is I need to unload them all. So I'm going to go with the cheapest thing I possibly can, because these conveyor rails in here, they have to be made of steel. Otherwise the rocket exhaust will eventually melt them. So steel conveyor rails, and I'm going to just have one going through the other. This will slow down the unloading, unfortunately, but yeah, I don't care too much. Then that will go all the way across here and get dumped off. We're just going to dump it on the ground for now. However, that... yeah, we missed a piece, didn't we? We'll deconstruct that. Next up, you've got to take care of... actually, no, let's not do automation. Let's do power overlay first. Power. So I've installed a transformer down here, and then we have a conductive wire going across. And this wire is made out of lead, all the way up until it gets to about there. Then it switches to iron. Just to be safe, there could be some rocket exhaust leaking out of here that may cause some effects, so I'm just made the whole thing out of iron the whole way up to here. This is to power the bunker doors. That iron switches to steel right there the moment it starts contacting bunker tiles and these doors up here, because otherwise it might melt. So they're actually using 3 materials, lead, iron, and steel, because they're different melting points at different areas, just, you know, cost efficiency wise. You could, of course, make it all out of steel, but that's very expensive, and considering we're making rockets, we're going to need a lot of that steel for other things. Then we're looking at automation. Automation right here. Yeah, I'll try and... you know what? I'll demonstrate it on the other one. That's probably the simplest way to do it. First thing we want to do is we want to have a way of stopping the rocket. We don't want to just have the rocket launch and then come back and relaunch. That would be bad. So instead, we have a hydro sensor in here. We'll just stick that in. I'm just making it out of iron because we don't really care too much. Then you're going to have an AND gate. Okay, the AND gate I'll cover in a minute, but we're just going to stick that there, also made out of steel. Automation wire. So this comes over here, it's that, and this comes out of here. When this rocket has got all of these things ticked off, destination, astronaut, all of these things, when they're all ticked off, it will send out a green signal out of here. At the moment, this one's sending out a red because there's no destination selected. Once they're all green, it'll send a green signal out of there. That will combine with the green signal from this hydro sensor that I'm putting out, and then that will allow us to send a green launch signal to the ship, telling the ship to launch, which is perfect. Then when it's launched, we can always turn this off and say, so that when it lands, there'll be a red signal coming in here and it will never relaunch. Also a good plan. This just gives us a bit of control, but then we also have to take into account, well, we need to detect when the rocket's coming back. So that requires you to have a space scanner. And we'll just get another space scanner here, and we'll place that one... there is fine. Maybe a bit up. No, that's fine. We'll put a space scanner right there. We'll just stick a couple of tiles under it. Boom, boom. Then we're going to want to get automation wire again. Now, I'm making all of this out of steel around here because automation wire has a tendency to melt if you're not really, really careful. So we'll run the automation wire up here. This automation wire is just trying to get up to the doors. Its purpose up here is to open the doors when it detects the rocket coming back. But at the same time, those doors will have to open when the rocket wants to launch. So we need to also have a signal go to the doors to tell the doors to open when it's time to launch the rocket. Well, in that case, we have a green signal coming out of here, remember? This green signal, when everything is ticked off, a green signal coming out of here. So let's just link that right across. When this is green and ready to launch, it will send a signal up to the doors telling them to open, overriding any other signals on the line. Now, that all done. Oh, you, above. We want to turn that off for now. We don't want that launching. And for this one, where is it? Hydro sensor. Let's make that a priority 6 and turn that off before anything else goes in. Oh, and also one last thing, because I always forget it. Let's maybe plug in these. There we go. Power and power. Once this is done, we can seal these all up. I believe we've got Dr. Bane riding in this one, and we have Dr. Strange riding in the other one. So it's the doctors going first. Is everything else done? Yeah, they still haven't completed that. You know what? We'll make that a 6 as well. Just some of these things I want to get done sooner rather than later. Automation wire, nope. Give me the bridge, the hydro sensor. Above, boom, alright, so that's off as well. And that's it. All we're going to do is wait until we've got all this stuff completed, and once it's built, I'm going to wall in the rocket silos so that none of the... This is to do with when meteors are coming in. You can't predict when they're going to hit. Well, you can know when meteor season is, but you can't ever really predict when it's going to happen or time your rockets to land when there's going to be no meteors. Simplest thing to do, build rocket silos. Build a rocket silo, line it entirely with bunker tiles. That way, whenever it launches or lands, you don't care, because it doesn't matter if meteors land in the rocket silo, they won't damage anything or escape it. Oh, and you're going to want to double layer your rocket silos, but we'll cover that in a minute. Also, don't forget to put something scaffolding up there so that they reach and build those wires. Yeah, every time. Every damn time. Wait a minute. Damn it, I got it backwards. Damn it. This is not the input. That's not the output, that's the input. The green signal comes from here when the checklist is complete. So I've got this arseways and I need to redo it, which means let's just delete all of that because it's opening the rocket doors now when I don't want it to. So, I'm going to have to do the same the other side because I've made this one the exact same way. Oopsie. And why is that green? Oh, because it's detecting rockets. You know what? What's this? Parent rocket 2. Yeah. We'll set you to that. That means you're set to whatever. We'll give you better names in a minute. That should hopefully close the doors. Okay, thankfully. And once those doors are closed, we will go about fixing the automation wires. My bad. Let's get this done. Let's do this correctly this time. As for this one, this is a research rocket. It didn't need all that excess automation. So for this one, this is the one that's going to be a cargo rocket. This is what you'd normally do for automation-wise. One connected up to this AND gate, one connected up to this output. This output is what sends the green signal when the tick list is checked. And then when the two of them agree, they launch the rocket. And then when that signal turns green, it should tell the rocket to launch while simultaneously sending a green signal out here, which will tell the doors to open. And how have I missed that last bit over there already? Yeah. Every time. That should get the last of that. And that should finish off the automation. Now it's time to maybe rename these rockets to something reasonable instead of these silly names that they've got at the moment. For Bane ship, what should we call it? Your Bane. Why not? I'm not very imaginative feeling today. And for Doctor Strange, the Magic Cloak Ride. Yeah, he's got a magic cloak. Magic carpet ride, magic cloak ride, same thing. Anyway, that at least makes them memorable enough that I'll know what goes where. Anyway, I think we are fueled up. Yeah, this one's at least fueled. So once we've got all our wiring in place, and hopefully this time it's done correctly. Yeah, it should be. Oh, those are shut off for now. We can at least launch this and make sure that it works. Oh, yes, double layering. That was it. Mechanized airlocks here and here, made out of steel because they're the only things that won't melt. Put another sec there and there. Oh, get rid of that and get rid of that. Then comes double layering. The reason for double layering is to do with how rockets work. Or not rockets, meteors. When meteors come down, if they just come straight down and hit a surface, that's it. They'll just, if they spawn regolith, it'll spawn. However, if they hit walls at an angle, they can spawn regolith on the other side. Only if it's 1 tile thick. If it's 2 tiles thick, perfectly safe. So that's why I'm going to insulate that all the way down. Now, it doesn't have to be insulated tiles. I just use insulated tiles because they don't transfer heat. And it's just sort of convenient to do that way. And now all of that is done. Let's start decommissioning all of these all of those. And then we can finish off this bunker. Quick thing to note, these bunker tiles will get hot. So when it comes to the plumbing, you'll notice that the bridges go over wherever the bunker tiles are. And just now, I've put in the bridge here, a conveyor bridge, to make sure that the conveyor rails also bridge over it. Just helps prevent heat transfer. Just one of those little things that it's good to keep an eye out for. That should be good enough to let my dupes in there. Wall it all the way up. Now, I can't do this perfect all the way up. I'm going to have to leave a little bit of space for those hydro sensors. Otherwise, they're going to be out on the ladder system, which I'd prefer... Oop, my bad. Which I prefer not to do. And I think I might want to put in a... You know what? No, I'm not going to leave doors across the top. So I might want to go in and remove that ladder segment. Damn it. If I leave that ladder segment there, it's going to end up getting damaged, and I'm going to have a repair symbol flashing up in the corner forever and ever. Actually, I've already got 14 of those. Where are those 14? Ah, there. You know what? Let's just build over those. Oh, come on. Seriously? You're all Maffic Rock? You know what? Fine. I'll fix you later. Rocket silo is complete. It's double layered. And, oh, this is one last thing that'll get you back. Why is that door locked? Why is that happening? It's because the automation wire runs right through the door. So just put a little automation wire bridge over it and then deconstruct the automation wire that's over the door. The reason the doors are 2 tiles above the floor... Oh, did I just delete the bridge? I deleted the bridge. No. What's going on with you then? Auto. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, the reason I put them 2 tiles above the floor is they can still get down to the ground floor, and sometimes though regolith will end up in here, and usually if it's 2 tiles high regolith, you don't care. 1 tile, 2 tile, even 3 tiles you can get out and into the thing. The only way they can't get in is if there's 4 tiles high. It's just occasionally you will want to go in here and remove the regolith. So it's just nice to make sure that your dupes also can't get trapped in there. It would require usually 2 regolith meteors to land right in the way of one side of the doors, or actually they'd have to hit both sides. So you're looking at 4 regolith meteors landing specifically while your dupe is in there. Highly unlikely. It just cuts down on the possibility that your dupes end up dying. Now, we are... Yeah, I think we're ready to go. Have we got a destination selected for this one? Yeah, we are going to this satellite so we can get fulleren, isoresin, glass, steel, yeah, all that stuff. However, we can't really launch because all the doors are closed. And if you check the automation, yep, everything's red. So we're going to switch this to below. That turns green. A lot of things happened there. Since this was already outputting a green signal because all the boxes were ticked, when we switched our hydro sensor here to green as well, both of them agreed, yeah, it's time to go. And that sent a launch signal into the rocket, which can't activate yet, though, because there's a blocked launch path. But that sends a signal over here, which opens up the doors. And once the doors open, we get thrust, it vaporizes the regolith, and the whole thing launches. However, once it's gone, you see this is switched back to red. It's not ready to launch anymore because the rocket is no longer in the silo. And since that's happened, the whole thing is closed back up again. And it will remain closed until the rocket returns. This will detect that the magic cloak ride is returning, and when it does, it will send an automation signal up to the top going, yeah, we've detected the rocket returning, I would like to open the doors. Done and dusted. This one over here, though, is a slightly different beast. This is a research rocket. Yeah, this will usually only have 2 missions to a ring, 3 tops. So it's going out to this ring. There's only 2 planets in it anyway. So it's going to go out here, then come back, and then we're probably going to want to cut it off. So I'm probably going to want to service this in between missions. By servicing, I mean cut off the supply of fuel. I don't want to waste oxygen and hydrogen when it comes back. Oh, but before then, I have stuck in a little storage system. Yes, a storage system down here. What's this set to? 900. This here is a liquid reservoir, and it is in a vacuum, so it's not going to transfer heat or anything. And this oxygen comes up here, passes through it, and then goes on its merry way to fuel things up. However, on its way back, it's limited to 9 kilos. You'll notice here that this is at 9 kilos per second on the way back in. What this results in is this can pump out 10 kilos per second, but only 9 can return. So if we check this tank here, it should be going up by about 1 kilo a second. 1840, 1850, 1860, 1870... It's slowly but surely accumulating more and more oxygen because the oxygen can't get all the way back into the tank. This way we can stockpile 5 tons of liquid oxygen and 5 tons of liquid hydrogen when the time comes. How's this hydrogen doing? You know what? I think we'll start the hydrogen flowing. We've got enough. The thing is, these pipes, they're probably going to crack a bit at first, at least while it goes through and it starts to cool them down. I've had it running for a bit and I got a few cracks, but you can see the pipes are slowly starting to cool down. Oxygen pipes are definitely icy chilly already. Yeah. We will get this research rocket ready for launch, and then we got to do our long-range rockets. And while this was going on, we've had a perfect demonstration of something I have been trying to catch happening for a long while. The bunker doors opening and closing at random, and you're like, wait, what's going on? If we check the automation signal here, you see this is into green signal and the doors are opening. And yet the moment the doors open, they immediately close again. This is to do with the way space scanners detect things. It's a pain in the butt. For example, the scan quality here is at 50%, which means they detect them out to 101 seconds to 200 seconds before they arrived. What's happened here is all three of them, or one of them, has detected it at, say, 200 seconds and says, oh, there's meteors incoming, close the doors. So the doors close, but then when the doors close, the space scanners lose their bonus, as in they're getting increased detection radius from the other two scanners on the network. So once the doors close, suddenly they don't have that 200 detection radius. Let's imagine their detection radius drops by, say, 60 seconds. So instead of detecting it 200 seconds out, they're detecting it 140 seconds out. It's because they've lost their scanner radius when the doors close, or they've lost their scanner bonus. So at that point, they're no longer detecting it. They're not going to detect it until 140 seconds out. So they lose track of the meteors they realized were there a second ago. And then they open the doors. And then when the doors open, the scanner radius comes back, and then they close the doors. And then the meteors are 140 seconds out, so you're actually safe and good to go. Now, let's cut down on that problem happening. My solution is, there's several solutions to this annoying problem, but my solution is as follows. I have hooked up these two scanners together. So now what should happen is, when both scanners detect it, it'll only close the doors when both scanners detect it. That way you won't have any problems with that happening. Well, not quite. See this scanner over here? Yeah, we're going to get rid of it. It's to do with scan quality. Every one of these adds a 33-second detection radius. So if two of them are, if you have more than two, you can't really get away with this little fix. This fix is, it's a cheat more than anything else. Oh no, wait, that's the wrong wording. It is a crude fix. It is more of a hack that's just working around the system instead of trying to work with it. By only having two scanners, what will happen is, if this one detects it at its maximum radius, say 66 seconds out or whatever, it doesn't really make a difference. By the time the doors close, 33 seconds will have passed, so the meters will have moved into its detection radius even without the second scanner boosting its signal quality. Wait, no, I'm explaining it badly again. All right, imagine each one of the scanners gives you a 30-second detection radius, detection range bonus. So if you have two of them, you can detect meters up to 60 seconds out. And then imagine it takes 30 seconds to close the doors. What will happen is, if you have two scanners, you'll detect it 60 seconds out. Or three scanners, you'll detect the meters 90 seconds out. You'll close the doors. But then all your scanners lose radius, and they can't detect those meters inbound because they're too far away, because their scanner bonus is gone. So the doors open again. Boom, boom, keeps going back and forth again and again. In this instance, we've only got two of them. So what happens is, one of them detects it, the doors close, but it takes 30 seconds for the doors to close, so then they're already inside the detection radius of a closed door scanner. Badly explained, but as good as I can do it. So that means having two scanners, despite seeming like that should be worse, just means that you don't ever end up with that annoying problem happening. Another option is, you can put in 6 scanners. If you have 6 scanners, then you can detect the meters at their maximum radius out, stick in an automation timer, and the automation timer, you can just set it to, close the doors when there's 36 or 37 seconds left. That'll give you plenty of time for the doors to close before the meteors hit. And that way you're getting the maximum amount of lighting out of it. I'm too lazy. Oh, another thing you can do that was mentioned in the comments was, what was it? It was Ronald Trang. He said, if you want to be efficient, you should stack your scanners in a vertical alignment. So what that means is, you could effectively say, put 3 scanners there, and then put another 3 scanners below them, 15 tiles below the scanners above them. The interference radius is only 15 tiles. It doesn't matter if there's another scanner above them. Theoretically, you could put 6 scanners, one below the other, just as long as you put 15 tiles of distance between them. It would mess with my solar, and I don't want to do that, but you can if you want, so long as you're willing to say, you could dedicate a whole section of sky over here to just scanners. So you could put 8 bunker doors, and then just put scanners, 6 of them, one after the other, right down below each other. Just another way of handling the problem. Cancel that. But this way is reasonably efficient for me. How are we doing on this front? You know what? Let's launch this rocket. I think we're good to go. Yeah, everything is sealed up. I haven't double layered it because I don't care with this one. Destination. Let's make sure it's selected the correct one. Yeah, we want to go to that gas giant. Can't launch because we haven't flipped the switch. Boom. That should be it. All we do is you open the doors. Boom. Rocket launches. And then we make sure we close it afterwards. Once Once this detects the rocket coming back, it'll open the doors automatically. However, we do want to make sure we don't accidentally refuel that when it comes back. Or do we? You know what? There is one other planet in that ring, and we'll let that refuel. Normally what I do is I'd go in here and I'd put bridges over the nodes. That's just when you're doing these research rockets. There's all sorts of fancy systems you could do, but usually I just brute force it because there's only a set amount of planets, and once you're done, you're done. With those two out of the way, it's time to get... Oh, I've turned off the hydrogen for a bit. I want to let it stockpile just a little bit more before I let it start flowing. What that's... Actually, that's about right. I just want to keep that nice and stable and hopefully get some more... stop it cracking in the pipe so much. I made this run way too long. Normally I keep the liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen production really close, like I'd have it somewhere around here. Just the way it worked out in this map, I didn't plan it quite as well as I should have. For this next rocket, this is the one that's going to be going long distance. It's going to be going out to the 1300 ring. Where is it? All the way to here, the Gilded Asteroid on the 1300 ring. This is going to be a big rocket. It's going to be 50 tiles high. So this is going to be the base of it here. I wasn't planning on building one this big, so... Yeah, this, we're going to have to core out a bunch of space here. I need 9 tiles beneath it to be completely empty, otherwise it's going to be dumping heat into things. So at the time being, instead of cutting out an area and vacuum it, we're just going to push everything out of the way. What's down here? Oh yeah, there's reed fiber in here still. I wonder if I can save it. You know what? No, we don't care. Don't care about reed fiber. We should have plenty of reed fiber coming in. Also, we can deconstruct these. We don't need them anymore. Oh my god, I can't believe how long these have been here. Yeah, also, these should not have been getting water for a long time. Oops. Right, all right, no, we'll just finish this off. I'll stop worrying about it, and then we'll seal this area in and build our rocket. While I was in the midst of this, our rocket has returned. It will now land. Exit all its cargo. This may take a minute. Once it's finished exiting all its cargo, how much is left in there? Yeah, there we go. Steel and copper all gone. This one, steel, copper, glass, and isoresin all being removed. Once that's all gone, how are our tick boxes looking? Only thing left is the emptied cargo bays. Once that's finished, the whole thing will just automatically open the doors and launch again. Because we have automatically flowing fuel. Boom, off we go. Downside, you can't do this forever. The reason being you will run out of cargo on the satellites. They do run out eventually. But it is a nice way to make sure it gets started and at least completed in a timely fashion. Now, this rocket over here is going to be a little bit of a weird monster. We need 2 liquid oxidizer tanks, and we're going to need 4 fuel tanks, along with the 2 cargo wagons to make this 50 tile high cargo module thing. We're at almost that cusp where you can't send 2 cargo wagons anymore. We're going that far out into space. This is going to be probably one of the more beastly rockets I've ever constructed. Outside of research ones, of course. This thing is a bit of a behemoth. Behemoth? Behemoth. It's a behemoth. Dear Lord, 2 solid oxidizer tanks, 4 liquid fuel tanks, all running on 1 giant hydrogen engine with 2 cargo modules attached. Which reminds me, I'm missing one thing, and that would be the shipping rails. Made out of actual steel, going all the way up there. Boom. Damn. Now, plumbing-wise, yeah, this is going to get real interesting. That's going to go across here, down. They seem to have completed all of that, so I need to start deleting stuff. Yeah, we're going to delete all that there, all that there, all that there, and all that there. Boom. So the oxygen should flow all the way around. Oh. Yeah, I should really set the shouldn't I? So we got 2,700 in that. That means we need about 363 in the other. Unless we've already gone above that. Yeah, we've already gone above that. You know what? We'll set the second tank to 363. That's the wrong number, isn't it? There we go. Perfect. 363 kilos. We might want to start setting the fuel tanks on these. Now, which one loads first? It will be the bottom one. So 9, 18, 2,700. That means we need 363 in the top tank. Dear Lord. Yeah, this is going to be one weird monster. Then we also got to set up the automation wires on this. This is by far the dumbest rocket I have ever made. Just the sheer size of it. I need to give it a new name, though. Okay, we'll give it a temporary name of Big. That's as far as I'm going. I can't think of what to call it. The Gigantor, Galactus, I'm not sure. If you got any suggestions, give me one. I can always rename it. For the time being, let's launch this sucker. Look at the absolute... Look at the ludicrous size of that damn thing. Holy hell. Anyway, let's launch this sucker. Should just be a case of flipping the switch. Doors open. Engine kicks in. Regolith gets annihilated. And off she goes. Damn, gone off the screen already. That is hooked up to the scanner down here. Did that scanner get heated up too much? Why is that one highlighted? No, just big. Melting point, this, yeah, it'll probably be fine. Temperature 15 degrees. Oh yeah, so the temperature from the rocket exhaust didn't transmit through it. Yeah, I think we'll cut that out there. When that comes back though, if we double check this, I want to see exactly how much fullerene we're going to get. 35%, so 350 kilos, 2 cargo wagons, that's 700 kilos of fullerene. That 700 kilos of fullerene we can then dump into, where did I put this? Down here somewhere. Ah, yes, the molecular forge. For super coolant, what do we need? We need 1 kilo of fullerene per 100 kilos of super coolant. So did I say 600, 700? Let's just say 600. So that's 600 by 100. So 60,000 kilos of super coolant. I think 1 run should be enough. Yeah, 1 will probably be fine. I may not have enough gold. How much gold have we got? Refined metal, we have 14 tons of gold. I'm going to need more gold. Metal ore, how much gold amalgam we have? 135 tons. Wow, that seems like we have an easy fix for that. Let's just queue up a whole bunch of gold. Which one was it? We have a whole bunch of gold amalgam stored in here, so let's queue up. Yeah, another bunch of gold there, and another bunch of gold there. That should give us more than enough. 99 gold, 99 gold. Did that get loaded up already? Yep, auto sweepers kicked in. Oh, my dupes came along to do it. Anyway, I'm going to cut this out here. I think we've got plenty of rockets running for what we're going to need. I thought I was going to have to do more, but those gilded planets really make it a lot easier to get the fullerene we're going to need. Next up, I think we're going to do a deep dish rocket silo. So we're going to be coring a hole down here down the side of the map, and we're going to be filling it with a rocket silo and then seeing how much steam we can harvest from it. I really want to see if we can make a self-sustained rocket where the steam that comes off it provides enough hydrogen to launch the rocket again when it comes back. It should be theoretically possible. It's just harnessing all the steam. We'll see anyway. Well, I hope you enjoyed, and good luck.